Morning, everyone. Welcome to our Monday morning meditation. So glad to be here with you today. As I was thinking about our time today, as I always do, there's an image that came up in my mind, my imagination of a nest with little baby birds in it. It's that time of year where we're going to start seeing that kind of thing around if we haven't already. And I was seeing in this bird's nest these baby birds that need to be fed. And it just felt like our center is that nest filled with baby birds that need to be fed. And our attention and our presence is what feeds our baby birds and nurtures them and helps them grow. And as we spend time with our center and time with sitting in that centered space, the ability to be there throughout our day grows, just like feeding the baby birds helps them grow and eventually fly. So, since we've been focusing on our presence and just being, what we're doing with our meditation time is just being in that center and feeding those baby birds. Maybe our centers aren't as loud as those baby birds. They're not as chirpy and whatever, however you feel about that. But that center certainly calls us for food, and the food of our awareness, the food of our attention. And that is what helps us grow. So not a lot of talking today, more meditation. So I invite you to get comfortable where you are if you're not already. I always like to make sure my body is in a place where, as I do some breathing at the beginning of my meditation time, I can forget my body. Not that I'm not aware of sensations or discomfort, but for the most part, as I breathe in, we can do our count of 4, breathing into the count of 4 and breathing out to the count of 4. The body just slowly melts into itself in the place you're sitting. So I invite you to do that, breathing into the count of 4 and breathing out to the count of 4 at your own pace. If you need to go to the count of 5, do that somewhere between that 4 and 5 count, both directions, breathing in and breathing out. And maybe our first couple of few breaths when we sit down to meditate are deeper because tension throughout the day can keep us from breathing as fully as we're capable of, as fully as our body needs for soothing and release. So when we start our meditation times, a few deeper breaths is helpful. And as we do this breathing, letting our bodies melt into themselves, melt into wherever we're sitting, so that we forget the body. I invite you to picture that nest. It doesn't have to have a bunch of chirping baby birds in it, but just picture an empty nest. Maybe there are just eggs in there that need warmth and nurturing. To see that beautiful home made with love and skill. And let that bird's nest go where your center is. You could hold that beautiful nest in your hands. Where does it gravitate to? Is it your heart center where it just rests on your heart? Receptive, quiet. Does it rest on your lap, in your hands? Maybe you feel your whole self in the middle of that nest, ready for that quiet and that nurturing food of presence, awareness. Maybe it's on top of your head or encircling your head. All these different ways our center can show up. But the main thing that we're feeling into with this visualization is, where does that nest feel most natural? Where does it land? That when you put your attention on it, it receives. Wherever your nest ends up is the perfect home for it, for our time today. So picture that nest and its beauty, its purpose. Breathe into that nest. Let your breath just at a normal, natural rate. Breathe into that nest and breathing out anything that might disturb it. And this nest is our responsibility to keep everything else out of it for this time. So when thoughts come, we just gently sweep them away, keeping our nest of awareness simple and clear, quiet and calm. Gently sweeping away all other thoughts, sweeping away things to be done today, sweeping away things we're questioning from yesterday. And if the thoughts come in too many, and it's difficult to sweep away the quantity of thought, and just return to your breathing through that nest, just breathing in that peace, that receptivity, and breathe out everything else. Breathing in peace serenity. And breathing out everything else. You might notice that you feel love within this nest that you're holding, within the receptivity, within the awareness and attention. Let that flow. Like a gentle breeze coming through the tree into your nest, just blowing cool air right through the sticks and leaves and feathers and strings, making up the nest. Feel that flowing right through, supporting your effort of clearing that space. You might notice that you are more than that part that's paying attention to the nest. You are the receptivity of the nest. Just feel that for a moment. Your nest is open, waiting, being, holding. You are that within the nest that is receiving. Perhaps you can feel yourself as the eggs receiving the warmth of the mother bird's body. Maybe you can feel yourself as the baby birds receiving food, the food of your attention. And you're also the caretaker of that nest, of those eggs or baby birds, whatever is showing up in your mind's eye as you are spending time in your nest, in your center. And we can be all of these things at the same time. When we let go of our thinking mind, helping to still it, we are able to be and experience and understand so much more all at once, where we can be in this visualization and feel that experience of being the nest and the birds and the eggs and the caretaker and maybe even the breeze all at once. You are also the love and the care that goes into maintaining, creating and maintaining that home. And I invite you, if you haven't already, just step away from that visualization of the nest and be in that place where it was, your center, and feel that nurturing presence there. And now we take a couple of deep breaths, embracing that presence, embracing that experience of being open and receptive to our nurturing attention. And we take with us into our day that peace, that presence, that reminder that we are the caretakers of our center. And we can tap in many times throughout the day. Take a moment or two just to clear the nest. In order to grow that life within us, our nest has to be clear of debris. So it's valuable to check in throughout the day to see the clarity of that space, that inner space. And when it's not, which is normal, just take a few moments, just go, okay, let me just let everything go right now. I'm clearing my nest. I'm putting things aside so that I can be in that receptive, clear space. I continue throughout my day. If you need to go about your day like I do, I invite you to take a couple of deep breaths. You can sit a while longer in that beautiful receptive space. I invite you to do that. Either way, whatever you're able to do today, I do invite you to check back in with that center many times throughout the day so that you can take a moment to clear it out and Be present with yourself, within yourself, with clearing out the chatter of the mind and the impulses of the emotions, and just be, just be. Thank you for being here today, and I hope you have a wonderful week, and I look forward to seeing you next week. Bye-bye.